Yeah.
Well, to start off then, shall we have our review of the new Netflix film Hillbilly Elegy? I
Yeah,
assume I'm
let's do
pronouncing
it.
that word right. It is elegy, isn't it?
It is an elegy, yes.
Yes. Well, essentially, it's based on the memoirs of a guy called J.D. Vance, which supposedly are memories of his true life story. But again, it's a film, so whenever you see inspired by a true story, always take it with a pinch of salt. Starring notably Glenn Close and Amy Adams, and directed by Ron Howard. It tells a story of J.D. Vance growing up with technically three generations of his family: himself, his mother, played by Amy Adams, who is a heroin addict and has many struggles related to such, and his grandmother, played by Glenn Close, who sort of becomes the matriarchal figure of the film and sort of wants to see him succeed despite the difficulties he's born into. And that'll do for the plot. But
Yeah.
first off, I didn't like it. I'm going to
No,
go right off the bat saying I did not
me
like this
neither.
film.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to
The
run off
first
some
thing
things?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I'm going to say is it was a based on real event story, and it felt really inauthentic. Like,
Yeah.
there was some of it just felt like I mean, the whole premise of it in a way is kind of it's kind of bait for Oscars and like awards.
Literally, the first note I have on my page is just Oscar bait.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let's try like an emotionally distressed character or two and get some quite high profile actors to be in it, in the hope that, I mean, they're probably thinking Amy Adams for like, yeah, a lead, and Glenn Close for supporting or something, is probably how they're kind of like pitching it. But like, it was like, I don't know if you've ever seen the film not the film, the TV show Extras with Kate Winslet, that episode. I mean,
I don't know if I can
not the most
repeat
PC.
I don't know if I can repeat
Yeah.
the line you're referring to.
But it was that not so PC, but it sort of rings true. There is definitely a formula that gets you favourable kudos with the awards community.
Yeah.
And this felt like it was pandering to that quite a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I think you've nailed it pretty much spot on. There is like, even from the moment I saw the trailer, I don't know if you saw the trailer, but it's the most overdramatic, like swelling strings, making everything seem so over the top and emotional. And I thought this trailer could be like a parody trailer or a spoof trailer. If someone, as a film project, said, "Oh, go make like an Oscar bait film trailer that looks like a film that's trying to win at the award season," and this is what they would come up with. So I instantly was off about it from the start, and then when you watch the film, it just continues in that vein.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even watch the trailer, but like the scenes, I mean, it seemed like the source material actually had quite a, I mean, I don't know, maybe not, but it seemed like it had more potential than it was actually like delivered. Like, there were some very kind of supposedly dramatic scenes that felt really like boring. I mean, maybe that's a bit unfair, but I didn't find them gripping.
Well, I think we should preface it by saying neither of us has read the source material. We haven't read the real memoirs, so I can't comment on the accurate, like how much was changed or adapted from the source material. But there are a lot of problems storytelling wise in it. It sort of has a lot of flashbacks to the different parts of JD's life, and I always think it could have worked better as a linear story. Just because the scenes with the adult JD, some of them I actually didn't mind. I thought there was potential for like some drama in it, and then some of the scenes with him as a child, I laughed at. I openly laughed at it when it was clearly not going for that at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit patchwork. which I can see. Yeah, it's not the easiest. I'm not sure if I would have preferred it as a linear storytelling thing, because I think that might have prompted it to be an even longer film, and it was about 2 hours long as well.
I knew you were going to mention the length at some point.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily problematic. There was one point, because obviously I watched it last night with Zoe, and I had to pause it at one point to go and get a drink, and I was like, "Oh fuck me, 40 minutes more!" Like, I thought it was coming to an end, but no.
Yeah, I mean, I disliked it straight off the bat, to be honest. It was one of those, as soon as I gathered what it was about and what was going on, I instantly thought of several better films that have tackled like drug abuse and poverty way better than this. And also, I've read up a bit about, like, not so much the reviews, but a few of the criticisms about the film and the story itself. And I think some of them are spot on, as it is quite whitewashed. It is quite ignores the racial aspects that come into like the opioid crisis in America. And then what was the worst thing? Oh, that's it in my notes. The author is now like a millionaire. He does a lot of these like motivational lectures and stuff like that. And apparently he's been criticised a lot because his main ethos was, you need to work harder to get out of these positions. I did it, so you should do it. And he just comes across, I don't know the guy, but he just comes across like he could have a good message, and same with this film, like it could have had a good message and it could have been done well, but it almost doesn't understand what about the narrative would appeal to people or make a good film. Same as I think he's lost the whole message as to how people should take it.
Yeah, I'd say that was something that I found during the film itself. Like the moral of the story, kind of, so to speak, it narrowed and narrowed in scope as it got further through, to the end point where I was like, well, like, what, yay for this guy? Like, is that all? That's basically it. It didn't feel like anything that was like generally kind of, I don't know. It just seemed to exist in kind of a vacuum, and it didn't really access wider themes at any point.
I think that you just summed it up really well, I think, because although like us, it deals with drug addiction and familial relationships and almost dependency abuse, but it just narrows down to, oh, well done for this guy, and like it almost swerves all the bigger themes at hand, and it just makes it even worse.
Yeah, I think I didn't enjoy it. I don't think we need to talk about it that much more, to be honest.
I will say I thought the acting was good. I thought Glenn Close acted well, but then the cynical part of me is also thinking, well, if they know it's Oscar bait, of course they're going to try hard. So kudos for them for putting in effort.
Overacting the shit out of it, yeah. Fair play to them.
Well, that is half the problem with it, is that every scene they're trying to win an Oscar, whereas it's all about the individual bits, not just, I'm going to act the shit out of this for the whole film.
Yeah. No, exactly.
So anyway, should we get on to ratings?
Yeah, I'm going to start. I gave it... I was thinking about it for a while. I actually dislike it more the more I've thought about it, because I thought it was kind of passable to begin with, but I've had my views soured even more. Perisher thought that I'd be negative, but I'm going to give it 4 out of 10.
Oh, that's perfect, because I also have 4 written down as well.
Yeah,
no,
I think
I couldn't even get invested in it enough to hate it. I just really don't like it. If I hated it, it would be lower, but I just couldn't. I didn't even care that much to hate it.
It was just very bland, but tonally like corrupt. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think you're right. The more I think about it, the more unintentionally funny I find it, which is never a good thing, unless it's Norbit or something.
I think if we reviewed this film for 5 more minutes, it'd probably go down to a 3.
And then a 2, and then we just wouldn't post this review at all.
Yeah, so I think this is a good time to move on.